Now, doesn't the Army offer you a transitional process? Don't they sit you down and talk to you about the fact that you're going to be moving into the civilian world and that there are skills that they can teach you and techniques and tips that they can give you about what's ahead for you?
There's a program, it's called TAP, Transition Assistance Program, and the problem with that is it's based off the installation level. It's not like it's not just one system at the installation level, so each base does it their own way, each service does it their own way, and you just go there, they check the box, and you're good to go. You don't actually have to sit there in most places through all the classes. You're not getting the type of resume training skills that you should be getting, everything along those lines. And especially you're getting veterans that just got back from Iraq or Afghanistan. They may have been back 3 weeks, and they're trying to get mental health care. They're trying to move back to their hometown, and at the same time you're trying to teach them how to get a job. It's a big mess of a system.
You have buddies in the same situation?
Oh, I hear all the time about my buddies, people I don't even know that contact me. And before I thought it was just like at the lower levels, like the E3s, E4s, E5s, like the lower enlisted guys that were having these issues, because you wouldn't think that a colonel would get out having employment issues. But I heard from a lieutenant colonel a few weeks ago, and he got out and ended up having to go work basically a government contracting job because he couldn't transition into the civilian sector.
We see the recruiting commercials where there are young soldiers, sailors, Marines sitting in front of computers looking at high technology, and the sense you get is you're going to learn a lot here, and what you learn is going to set you up for life.
Yeah, when I went into the military, I remember going basically through all my medical training, and friends and family, people within the military, they're always like, oh, you're going to be set when you get out with a job. You're going to be set for life. It's such a smart thing that you're doing, everything like that. And it lures you into a false sense of confidence. You don't realize that when you get out, the civilian world, it doesn't care what you did in the military, and it really should.
Is that really true? They really don't care?
I don't think it's many times they really don't care. I think it's they don't necessarily know what it means. You get basically an infantry soldier. He gets out. He goes to the civilian side. They don't know how great his management skills are. They don't know how well his entrepreneurial skills are. They don't know, because the military is kind of its own culture, and veterans have been trying to work to get the civilian sector to realize that they're at the top of their fields in all job skills. They can show up on time. They can manage. If they can make great decisions in combat while they're under fire and keep their cool, then they should be able to handle the Florida stock trader.
Though, I mean, you're coming out of this into a terrible economy and competing against a lot of civilians who didn't go to Iraq and Afghanistan. Do you think because of your service that you should be given an edge?
I don't think because of my service I should be given an edge. We're not looking for handouts. We're just looking for an opportunity to give us a fair shot. And we're definitely not looking for handouts, just the people to realize the skills that we do have. Like, you take the SATs to get into college, and that's basically your entrance exam. Your DD-214, basically your military paperwork. When you get out, that should be your entrance exam into the career field right there.
I'm trying to get a sense of whether you're angry about this.
I'm not so much angry about it. I'm frustrated because I live this every day. I hear about all my buddies that can't get jobs. I'm hearing about buddies I have that have committed suicide, and I've been talking about. That's
literally true. They're committed.
Yeah, it's literally true, and I've been talking out loud about this stuff for over a year now. I fought while I was overseas, and I think the hardest fighting I've done is coming home. I've heard more talk about suicide in a Shakespeare class I took referring to Romeo and Juliet than I've heard about veteran suicide in the national media. Well,
you mentioned the Shakespeare class. What's that about?
I went back and I had to retrain. I got out and I started taking medical classes, and I was basically having to double dip my GI Bill. I was paying for classes that I basically already took. So I got frustrated. I changed my major to English. I'm getting ready to graduate this year, and so that's a good milestone right there.
You can tell many concerned parents out there what you're supposed to do with an English major. What is your plan? It's not necessarily a ticket to employment, so what is your plan on that?
Actually, I just accepted a job about a week or two ago. Another big shocking factor was the president gave that speech about how I couldn't get a job. I think I got 2 job offers just off that speech. And that, you'd think if the president goes up there and says, this guy's a great medic, hire him, something along those lines, it'd be an overwhelming response. I believe I got 2 job offers, and one was from the VA. But I accepted a job last week. I'm going to be moving to New York to work with Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Basically helping veterans out, and there's nothing more rewarding than that.
The bottom line, civilian life, hard to reach when you're leaving the military?
Yeah, imagine if you took a civilian and put them in Afghanistan tomorrow, they would have a hard time transitioning. And someone like myself and all the other veterans out there, we basically go right into the military out of high school in a lot of cases. So we don't really grow up on the civilian side. So we get back, it's hard, and you get depressed, and you're telling people you need help, and you're not getting help you need, and it's all tied together. You get a veteran that can't get a job, he's just going to be even more depressed. The nightmares, everything's going to be worse. It's all tied in together, and we're crying out for help, or yelling out for help, not handouts, and we're just not getting the help we need, and we're working for it. Like this summer, I moved halfway across the nation to sleep on a futon out in New York City with no AC just to pad my resume, and that's not much of a step up from sleeping on the ground in Afghanistan out in the sun that I did back in 2008 for the 14, 15 months I was deployed. We're working at it. It's just we can't do it all by ourselves. We need a little bit of help.
Well, Nick, I think you're heard loud and clear on this broadcast, and I want to thank you for joining us. Retired Army medic Nick Colgin has been joining us from Wisconsin Public Radio in Wausau. Nick, thanks for your time. Good luck to you, and Godspeed.
Oh, thank you so much.